Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to look at how to crochet these fingerless gloves. I have done two different lengths and I'll leave all the details you need to know in the description box below. For the pink gloves I've used Caron Simply Soft and used a 5mm hook, and for these berry coloured gloves I've used King Cole, their big value range, and also with a 5mm hook. The length of your glove really does depend on the number of starting chains. So for the longer length glove, I've used 45 chains, and for the shorter length glove, I've used 37 chains. Now the width of your glove is determined by the number of rows you work, and as this pattern is a 4-row repeat, I do recommend you stick to this, so when you sew your glove up at the end, it will make the seam less noticeable. So for a small hand, I'd recommend a total of 24 rows, a medium hand, 28 rows. Medium to large hand will be 28 rows, as it's quite a stretchy pattern. And for an extra large hand, 32 rows. Okay, let's get started. I'm working the shorter length glove now, so I've only worked a starting chain of 37. So you skip the first chain and slip stitch in the second chain. And to slip stitch, just insert your hook under that top loop of the chain, yarn over, pull through and pull the loop through. So that's our first slip stitch, and we need 4. 2, 3 and 4. Next we're going to work a half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. And a half double crochet is using US terminology. In the UK or UK terminology, these are half trebles. So yarn over, again insert your hook in that next chain, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And repeat this in the next 3 chains. Now you're going to repeat this sequence right to the end. So you now do 4 slip stitches followed by 4 half double crochets. So I'll do this with you once more. Slip stitch into each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches or chains. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So go ahead now and work 4 slip stitches, 4 half double crochets right to the end, and you should end with 4 slip stitches. So your 4th slip stitch in the last chain. Chain 1, and to start row 2, turn your work and then just look for the top of the slip stitches which are here. Now we're going to go under the top 2 loops of this first slip stitch. This is a little bit tricky. Okay, and then slip stitch. So your first and last stitches, you always go through the top of the stitch completely. On subsequent stitches for this pattern, you're always going to work into the back loops of the stitches. So this is the front loop here, this is the back loop. So insert your hook into the back loop and yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook to complete your second slip stitch. Once again, through the back of the loop, a slip stitch. So for rows 1 and 2, you always start and end with 4 slip stitches. Next, we're going to work our 4 half double crochets into the next 4 stitches, but into the back loop again. And the reason we do this is it pushes what looks like a little row of chain stitches forwards to give the wave-like effect of the pattern. So here we have our first half double, second, third, and then the fourth, all into the back loops. Next, we're going to work our slip stitches into the back loops. So you can see just there. If you work your slip stitches too tight, it is a bit tricky. I forgot to say that on the first row. So try not to work the slip stitches too tightly and it'll be a lot easier. So there we've done our 4 slip stitches now. And now we need 4 half double crochets. 1 in each of the next 4 stitches. And you repeat this to the end of the row. And you will end again with 4 slip stitches. There we go. You can see how it's taking effect now. So continue with this right to the end and I'll meet you there. So we're at the last slip stitch now, and to give your glove a neater edge, go under both loops of the last slip stitch. So you've completed rows 1 and 2, and this is how it's looking. Now for rows 3 and 4, they're worked exactly the same. So first of all, chain 1, turn your work, and again going under both loops of the next stitch, work a half double crochet. And then work the next 3 half double crochets through the back loop. So you're doing a set of 4 half double crochets and 4 slip stitches all the way along once again. Just check I haven't done too many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do the slip stitches. And those are going into the half double crochets, the back loop only. 1, again not too tightly, 2, if you can't pull it through all at once, just insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook. There we go. So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, and our 1, 2, 3, 4 slip stitches. Now we're going to do 4 half double crochets, 1, in the back loop of each of the next 4 stitches. 2, 3, and 4. So repeat this to the end, and you should end with 4 half double crochets. So now you're ready to do your 4 slip stitches. I'll meet you at the end of the row. Before I get to the end, I'll just show you a little area where you could go wrong after you've done your 4 slip stitches over the half double crochets. Just take care you don't miss the next stitch there. I've done that a few times, so once you've done your slip stitches, make sure you get in that next stitch just here, because it can be hidden a little. So you need to pop your next 4 half double crochets along here, 1 in each of the next 4 stitches. Yes, because on occasion when I first started to do this stitch pattern, I noticed my stitch count was out. So this is how it's looking. So meet you again at the end. So we're almost at the end of row 3 here, and as you can see, it is quite easy to miss. So we need to do a half double crochet in the slip stitch in the back loop there. Half double crochet in the next one. And a half double crochet in the next one. And then we're going to go under the both loops of the last slip stitch to give a neater edge. Okay, so now for row 4, we just repeat row 3. So chain 1, turn your work, and go ahead and do a half double crochet under both loops of the stitch, and then work 3 half double crochets under the back loops. So 1 in each of the next 3. So you have a total of 4 half double crochets to start this row, and then you work your slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So work to the end doing your half double crochets, and I'll meet you there. And as we did before, we'll end with our half double crochets. So once you've finished, you've completed your last half double crochet, you've now worked the 4 row repeat. So you just go ahead and repeat rows 1, 2, 3 and 4 for however many rows or the length you need for your glove to be the correct width. So I've already done a sample here. We'll just zoom out slightly. I used a total of 28 rows, which just happens to be 7 4 row repeats. And the 4 row repeats are here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we need to sew our fingerless glove together. So just turn. Let's have a look. Have I? Oh no, I haven't quite fastened off here. So we'll just show you how you fasten off when you've finished your 4th of your 4 row repeat. Just yarn over and pull through. I've already snipped this yarn. There we go. Give that a nice little tug. And what you'll probably notice is, this is the right side, you've got a nice little curve here, and you've got a little dip there. So that's perfect. So what will happen when you go to sew up your glove, you'll just match those like so. There are no hard and fast rules how you sew these up at all, but it's a good idea if you can leave a total of 4 stitches for the thumb hole. And for me, that works really well just here on the shorter length glove. So decide where you would like to have the thumb hole. I think I've got, yes, I've still got this one here. We have a little look. I think it was the longer length where I went further down, but yes, it is definitely just here where I had the thumb hole. So you must leave 4 stitches for that. So just mark out or keep in mind where you need to sew up to. And just to sew your glove, there are various ways you can do this. But I found the easiest way to start is, let's zoom in slightly. First of all, just join. Now, that little curl there. Just join in the bottom stitch to correspond there. Do a couple of little stitches to secure it nicely. And then we can start to look at how to make this almost seamless. So really, we've got almost like a little chain effect here and here. So what we could do is perhaps just come up here, go underneath those 2 loops and go under the next 2 here. Try to match them up as best you can. And then go under the outside to the end of the next little V stitch chain, and once more come up. Perhaps you can go under that one because I think that matches now this one, and then go up to the next one, and then underneath the next chain, and that brings it together nicely, as you can see. So we'll go under the next one, now if you look here, we need to kind of like recognize we need this shape here. So it's a good idea to just perhaps grab this little bar here and then look at how that would work. Seems to be doing okay there. And then go under the next chain. Perhaps under this one. I think you get the idea now. And then under this little bar here. It's only where you've got your slip stitches, you've got the 2 prominent tops of the stitches, you can see. But it pulls it together nicely. The thing is not to go over like this, because then you would see that. Always come from the side of your stitch to the centre, like so. And then here it doesn't really matter too much. I'm sure there are far many more expert sewers out there, but this is the way I worked it to make it as seamless as possible. and you just work it as best you can all the way up. Keep going, and there you can hardly see where you've sewn your work. So as I said, it'll take a long time on video, but I will meet you when we get up here, and we'll just leave this little area open for the thumb. So we've almost reached where we're going to have our thumb hole, which is here, these 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. So we're going to make sure this is nice and secure just here. So you might wish to do a couple of extra stitches just to secure. Just where the thumb will be going. And then if you haven't got a decent length of chain, a length of yarn, you'll have to rejoin. You could use the top strand there. So just fasten this in on the inside to hide it. Been over several times now, so that's absolutely fine. It's not going to come undone. And we can snip that. And now we're ready to sew the top little bit up here now. Okay, so once again, make this nice and secure. Going to be joining, matching up like this now. Just however you like, just bring that across. Nice and secure. And now we know that our thumb hole is going to be here, so we just match up these stitches next. So we can just go under those two, and that's the corresponding one over here. And just bring them together. And once again, from this side, and the corresponding one here. And then I think I might have missed the corresponding one there. Just however best it looks to you. So I think that's pretty good. Now we know that these two you can honestly sew these up however you wish. However, this just gives it a seamless finish. And then just make sure that this is nice and secure. You can turn this inside out now. And it's always a good idea to go through your yarn rather than under it, just it gives it a little bit more friction there, so it's less likely to come undone. Okay, so here we've finished our second fingerless glove, and where's that thumb hole? There it is. Zoom out, and there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial and enjoy making these lovely fingerless gloves. And for the keen-eyed amongst you, yes, I've shown you how to do this stitch on a different video, but we started differently working into the back bumps, and it's sometimes referred to as a wave stitch or the almond stitch. But thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, it'd be great if you would. And if you'd like to make sure you don't miss any further tutorials, please hit the notification button too. And if you really enjoyed it, I would be very grateful for a thumbs up. It really would help me out a lot. Thanks a lot and see you soon.